Welcome everybody around 6 out of 10 here in MF1 Season 2, and now we arrive here at Monza, the Temple of Speed, for the Italian Grand Prix. This one, folks, is going to be very exciting. Last season had a brilliant race. There's no doubt that this race today is going to be very, very good. The previous winner of the MF1 Italian Grand Prix is Max Verstappen. Today he'll be starting P5, so he has a little bit of work to do if he wants to win this Grand Prix, but keep in mind, he's one of the best drivers here at this track. And now let's look no further and take a look at the track analysis. 53 laps today around this 11-turn circuit, and there are 2 DRS zones. Turn 1 and 2 and 4 and 5 are the best corners for overtaking. Now let's move on to the tire compound. Hard C2s, medium C3s, and soft C4s. And the tire strategy for today's Grand Prix is a one-stop race. As now the formation lap is shortly about to begin, let's look no further and meet the grid. Valtteri Bottas and Franco Colapinto will be starting off in the rear end of the field. In front of them is Sergio Perez and Esteban Ocon. In front of them is Gabriel Bortoleto and Lance Stroll. In front of them is Yuki Tsunoda and Fernando Alonso. In front of them is Pierre Gasly and Nico Hülkenberg. And in front of them is Oliver Bearman, who's been showing great performance recently in MF1. He is definitely improving a lot on his racing. Right beside him is also another person who's been improving. That is Kimi Antonelli. These two young guns are pretty fast, so keep an eye on them. In front of them is George Russell and Max Verstappen, the previous winner of the Italian Grand Prix. Keep an eye on Max Verstappen, he's pretty fast here. In front of them is Lewis Hamilton and Charles Leclerc. And in front of them, on the front row, is Oscar Piastri and Lando Norris once again. After back-to-back races of struggles for McLaren, they are still not giving up, as both McLarens once again are on the front row. Despite the struggles, McLaren is really showing that they are still in contention for a Constructors and Drivers' Championship. So make sure not to count McLaren out, even if they're doing bad. Now the drivers have completed the formation lap and they are ready at the line for the start of the Grand Prix. Here we are, folks, at the start of this Grand Prix. This is the moment we've all been waiting for as the lights begin to come up in front of the drivers. And it's lights out, and away we go, and we're underway here in Monza. Both McLarens with a great start, but Lando Norris with a better start than Oscar Piastri and takes the race lead. Piastri was on the low lane, merges up to the high lane. Now Piastri is right behind his teammate, so possibly the McLarens can work together as there are many battles happening throughout the pack. Bearman, Antonelli side by side, Gasly, Hülkenberg side by side. Both of the Ferraris are side by side. Verstappen, Russell side by side. But now it is all clean air for Lando Norris as he had an amazing start. And now he's leading the entire grid down to turn 1. Everybody remains 2 by 2. Besides up front, both of the McLarens are single file as we make our way down to turn 1. Lando Norris is still clear. Piastri doesn't seem like he wants to overtake his teammate, but it is all Lando Norris as he had a great start and he's leading the Grand Prix. Piastri's in second, Charles Leclerc is in third, Lewis Hamilton is fourth, and Max Verstappen is in the 5th position. Leclerc is under pressure from his teammate Hamilton as Lewis Hamilton down low, late on the brakes into turn 1, and Lewis Hamilton driving for Ferrari is going to get by his teammate Charles Leclerc and moves up to the podium position. Great driving done by Sir Lewis Hamilton. Lance Stroll putting pressure on Gabriel Bortoleto as Lance Stroll with a late braking move into the chicane, and Lance Stroll driving for Aston Martin is going to get by the Audi of Gabriel Bortoleto and moves up to the 13th position. A great pass done made by the Canadian boy. Fernando Alonso putting pressure on Yuki Tsunoda as now Alonso activates DRS, and Fernando Alonso, the Spaniard from Spain, is going to get by the Japanese boy of Yuki Tsunoda driving in the Red Bull, and the man in the Aston Martin gets by the Red Bull. Max Verstappen putting pressure on Charles Leclerc. Verstappen now down low into turn 1. It's a late braking move, but Max Verstappen, your MF1 Season 1 champion, is unstoppable, and he gets by the Ferrari of Charles Leclerc, and Max Verstappen will move up to P4. A great pass done made by the champion. Oscar Piastri putting pressure on his teammate Lando Norris as Norris tried to defend from Piastri, but it's not enough. Oscar Piastri now late on the brakes into turn 1, and Oscar Piastri driving for McLaren is going to get by his teammate of Lando Norris, and that is a new race leader. Oscar Piastri takes the race lead away from Lando Norris as Norris is down to second. The first and only round of pit stops now begin as Lewis Hamilton is into the pits, running a great day so far, currently running third. and has a chance to score a second podium for Ferrari. This could mean a lot to Ferrari, as this is Ferrari's home. They are from Italy, and a podium here at home could mean a lot to this team. Oscar Piastri, your current race leader, is now into the pits, having a great day so far. Now, even though Oscar Piastri crashes out a lot, that doesn't mean that he's a bad driver. He's really good, and he has another chance to win a Grand Prix, as now Piastri's back out on the track. Oscar Piastri's teammate Lando Norris is now into the pits. Lando Norris currently running second, having a great day so far. Started up front, but lost the lead to his teammate. But Lando Norris is not a quitter. He's not backing down, and he's currently the fastest car out there on the track, and he's going to trail down Piastri in hopes of taking back his win. Max Verstappen is now into the pits, currently running fourth, having a pretty good but quiet day. Max Verstappen is the defending winner here at Monza. He won here in Season 1, and he's hoping for a podium today, trying to catch up to Lewis Hamilton, but Hamilton is one of the fastest cars out there on the track. Piastri now under pressure from Lando Norris as Norris down low, laying on the brakes. Both of the McLarens battling once again for the lead, but it's going to go Lando Norris's way as Lando Norris regains his race lead from his teammate Oscar Piastri, as Norris is now back up front here at the Italian Grand Prix. Pierre Gasly now putting pressure on Nico Hülkenberg will make a rain of turn one. Gasly now down low, laying on the brakes. Oh, look out! Contact between the Alpine and the Audi, and Nico Hülkenberg spins out as it seems like he cut right in front of Pierre Gasly. What was that? Let's see a replay. It might have been Gasly or Hülkenberg. Let's see. Gasly down low, or side by side. Oh, man. It was either a misjudgment of space, but Hülkenberg just cut right in front of Gasly, and Gasly took him out. Contact between the wheels. So unfortunate for Nico Hülkenberg. Oh man, Gasly's retiring from the Grand Prix. That's a big issue, and the stewards will be looking at this incident as Gasly climbs out of his vehicle. Here's a look back at the incident that happened a lap ago, and the stewards have concluded Nico Hülkenberg will be given an extra 5 seconds added to his final race time, as he did not give enough room coming to the corner. Tough break for Nico Hülkenberg, tough break for Pierre Gasly, who's retiring from the Grand Prix due to big damage in the suspension system in his car. Kimi Antonelli now putting pressure on Oliver Behrman. Antonelli down low, late on the brakes into turn one, and the Italian crowd will rise for the Italian man as Kimi Antonelli from here is going to get by Oliver Behrman and moves up a position. A great pass done made by the Italian man. Verstappen under pressure from Charles Leclerc as Leclerc activates DRS, goes high. Whoa, contact! Whoa, look out! Charles Leclerc is upside down here at Monza, slams into the barrier, and we have a massive crash. And it's a horrific sight to see as a Ferrari has flipped here at Monza. Charles Leclerc on his roof, 4 tires off the ground. Safety car is out. What in the world has happened here? Looks like a misjudgment with the DRS. Look at this. Oh my goodness. Hard into the wall goes Charles Leclerc, and that just causes him to roll over. I have never seen anything like that. Here it is again. Ultra slow-mo this time. You see Leclerc's going to activate DRS. Once he tries going high, he didn't think he was that close to Verstappen. Just nudges Verstappen ever so slightly, and this crash happened so fast. And all that energy just caused that car to flip over. That is unbelievable. Yet Leclerc got so lucky that when he hit the second wall, the whole car stopped. At least he didn't come back up onto the track. That would have been a bigger wreck. As you know, Leclerc tried going high. Didn't work out, really. And Leclerc is going to, unfortunately, be the third driver to ever flip over an MF1. Fernando Alonso was the first. Flipped over at Mexico City. This season, first race, Nico Hülkenberg flipped. And now, Charles Leclerc will join those two and become the third. That is definitely a disappointing way to end your Grand Prix. Charles Leclerc upside down. But the race is officially over as Lando Norris has won the Italian Grand Prix. A great job done by Lando Norris, and his teammate Oscar Piastri finishes second. McLaren really shows that after all these struggles, McLaren is still strong, and they are in contention for a title, as Lewis Hamilton for Ferrari is going to take third. A great drive for Lewis Hamilton as a Ferrari is going to score the podium here at home, and what a wonderful race this was today here at Monza. Lando Norris has won the MF1 Italian Grand Prix. His teammate Oscar Piastri has finished second, and Lewis Hamilton for Ferrari has finished third after a wild Monza race today. And after this race today, McLaren has really proved that they are not giving up. Even after all their struggles in the past, they finally got both of the cars on the podium and scored big today. Really shows you that the mentality at the McLaren paddock is strong. Now let's move on to the race results. Norris, Piastri, Hamilton, Russell, Antonelli, Behrman, Alonso, Tsunoda, Hülkenberg, Stroll. Those are all the people who get points today. And after Hülkenberg's 5-second time penalty, he is knocked back to 9th place as Lance Stroll has scored his first ever point this season. Great job done by that Canadian man today. Now let's move on to the Drivers' Championship. Max Verstappen is still leading. Hamilton's in second, Norris in third, Russell in fourth, Piastri fifth, Leclerc sixth, Antonelli seventh, Gasly eighth, Alonso ninth, and Hülkenberg is in 10th. Hamilton and Lando Norris are tied for second place, but Lando Norris is slowly gaining more points on Max Verstappen. And so is Lewis Hamilton. This title fight could be very interesting. Now let's move on to the Constructors' Championship. McLaren is in first, Ferrari in second, Red Bull's down to third, Mercedes fourth, Alpine fifth, Aston Martin sixth, Audi's in seventh, Haas has just passed Cadillac for eighth, and Cadillac has been knocked down to the last 9th position in the standings. So that's very disappointing for this brand new Cadillac team. The next race in MF1 Season 2 is at Silverstone for the British Grand Prix. That one is going to be very exciting, and there might be a little forecast of rain. So that pretty much sums it up, folks. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you at the British Grand Prix.